Aloha. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's look at some markets. Burning past the midnight oil over here in Hawaiian Standard Time Zone. It's 1:13 a.m., May 19th, 2021. Woo! Your buddy Brent is going to be yawning when I get out of bed tomorrow. Nonetheless, let's get to work. Looking at the S&P 500 at the moment. And how did it close? Well, it closed right around this 50-day moving average. So what's today? Today is Tuesday. So Monday there was a bit of a sell-off. Tuesday dropped down. But what might that tell you? Well, if you look, this was a long, very long range body of this candle here, and you can see this one is quite a bit shorter. Granted, it did drop down here quite a bit, but it didn't go any lower. So what might that tell you? Use your intuition and think about it. And depending on when you're watching this video, you'll be able to see what may or may not have happened. And it's mainly more of attempting to get your mind in tune with the ebbs and flows of these particular type of markets. I think it was yesterday in the video I made, I mentioned consider beginning with trading just one asset to really learn the nuances and the personality of that one asset. So consider doing that so you can you can get deeper in there. We will see what happens tomorrow with the S&P 500, but what we can do right now is we can take a peek at the S&P E-mini futures, which are trading right now, to get an idea of what may happen tomorrow morning. So we see that right now it opened here. It traded as high as this little beep, that little thing, traded as low as this, and whoa, going a little lower. So there's some selling pressure in. Looks like at the moment though the volume is not as it's not as high. It's considerably lower. Maybe that's because it is, the time zone, the time that the market's trading at. But look here, the volume was here, a little bit more volume here. Now quite a bit less selling volume compared to these days when there's a lot of selling in there. And when we look back here, just kind of an average amount of selling volume. Maybe some of the selling is being closed down. If let's pretend for a second that the selling is still gonna continue. So where might we expect, if the S&P selling was going to continue, where might we expect it could potentially sell down to? Well, an easy thing that you can do is look to the left. So we're right here. Look to the left. Okay, we got this. So if that shows something, it's not a whole lot of something. Well, let's keep moving to the left. Moving to the left. Not too much. Oh, moving to the left. Now a little lower here. We're starting to see something in here. So maybe that could act as some form of support in this area, potentially. Now, as far as how far it could go, well, we're around the all-time high area. So if you are trading the S&P, either futures or the S&P index, then it's not really that big of a drop, considering that we're at record highs. Yeah, it's a little bit of a drop, but I mean, it's not like it dropped down to here. No, it's pulled back from whatever this was, 430, something like that, down to 408. And the another advantage of trading the same asset class is that if it, let's just pretend for a second, this was at 430 and now we're at 408. Well, if a $30, if a 40, $30 move in a week is normal for a particular asset class, it's not a big deal. If it's normally like a $5 to $10 move in a week and you're seeing a $30 to $40 move, then maybe you have some concern. So there's these little nuances that if you really dial into one asset and trade that one for a while, you can get a lot of advantage. Now, that doesn't mean that you'll always have to do that, but what you can do is really learn the nuances of one particular asset, and then when you really have that under your belt, then you can add another one, and the things that you learned from that first one will make it easier for you to learn the second one. For example, when in high school, when I was in German class, Herr Helmus, my German teacher, used to always talk about how the first language that you learn is generally the hardest, but after that, you learn how to learn languages. And it's sort of a similar thing with this. So now we looked at the S&P, we looked at the futures. It looks like there could possibly be some more selling pressure in. As far as going up, if it's going to go up, well, if I personally was trading S&P, the first thing that I would be looking for right now is it going to be able to break this? That's, you notice like this part of the candle here, in a way it sort of lines up with these two. I get it, it's not exactly, but if you eyeball it, it's something there. And now as we keep looking to the left, see, it might not be exact, but there's something there around that price range. So on the upside, if it's gonna make all-time new record highs again, then it needs to break this area, which might act as a bit of resistance. Maybe it won't. So we want to see. If I was trading it, I would be watching closely to see if it's gonna break that. Another thing, as I mentioned before, that you can do is turn to a line chart. Look at this. Maybe we're getting a W to form here. Not sure, but even if we are getting a W, if it starts going up here, and let's say it's going to go up here to form a W. See this point of the W and that point of the W? They're relatively even. Now this is a little bit higher, but it's a little bit higher. So that would indicate that it's not as strong as a move. Whereas if you look at this W, right, all that movement up, look at this point and look at that point. That is significantly higher. So that's something that you can do. And if you want to, for whatever reason, if you want to use this as a trading strategy, the way that I learned it is that when this part of the W passes this part, it's generally a safe place to enter. I don't particularly trade that way myself, but if you want to play with it with some simulated trading, go for it and see if you enjoy it. Let's take a look at GOLD. So we had a lot of buying, and as I was talking about, we want to see what happens around this 200-day moving average and all this sort of stuckiness around here. When we see these moving averages kind of converging together, it indicates not clean type of trading. So now we had this come up, we had a doji. You see it's quite a bit of selling off here. As I've mentioned in the other videos, we want to see how far this candle is going to sell and retrace into this one. Right now we're at maybe about 65%, roughly, somewhere in there. And so tomorrow when I wake up, if this candle now looks more like this or this, that's going to indicate a different picture than if it sells off lower. But as long as what I'm looking for is gold is, of course, what it's going to do up here, but also down here. If it stays above this and it starts building new base in this area, then it's slowly kind of beep, beep, beep going up. So that's what's going on with gold at the moment. Silver, wow, look at that, a lot of selling off. So when you see this type of thing, before this comes in, just realize that when you see something like this, it can indicate a change in momentum, change in direction. Just have it be, like for example here, we had selling. See, we have this doji looking candle, and then it moved up. It did indicate that there was going to be a change in momentum. Same here, we had a move up, sellers came in, pushed it all the way down here. See where buyers started coming in? This candle closes, and it closed like that, indicating there might be a change in direction, and boom, there was a change in direction. So we will see what happens in silver. Now we're going to take a look at oil in a second, and I'm going to show you on oil how there was similar type of these long range candlesticks that were red, green, and we'll take a look at that. And going back to this for a second, so we can look at oil and speculate what might happen with silver. We got a 20-day moving average is moving up. 50-day moving average was on a slow decline, started kind of going sideways, started kind of going up. Our 200-day moving average is on a very slow, easy way up. But man, if you were walking up this, you know, it's definitely uphill. Might be peaking up right here. Let's take a look at oil. Here's where this red, green kind of candle I was talking about. Selling off, buying, selling off, buying. And so that happens sometimes. What's the point to get out of that? The point that you should get out of that is that sometimes it happens, and if you can figure out why exactly that's happening or what it indicates, then let me know, because maybe it's almost 1:30 in the morning and I'm ready to go to bed. And so what do we have going on? We have selling, some selling going on, but our 200-day moving average has been moving up nicely. You know, this is a less desirable hill to walk up if you're looking for ease than the one we looked at before. 200-day moving average, 20-day moving average moving up. 50-day moving average going back here, it's moving up well. Yeah, it's kind of flattening out here. So maybe we'll be in this range. What oil kind of did for this time, it was range bound, then it started slowly moving up, kind of got range bound. So maybe we're going to do a little bit of range bound here. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to look at where this candle is at, because see here how they were kind of parallel when we moved to the left? Yeah, not exactly, but there's something there. Keep moving to the left. See, it's sort of on this line. Well, see, now it's a little bit higher. So if I wake up in the morning and it's a little higher than what's on this line, then that might indicate to me that we're squeezing this range again, similar to maybe what happened here. And then maybe we'll be testing this high of 66 in recent time. Now let's say it's going to go to drop the other way. Then we need to see it drop through this. Right? And if it drops through that, then how far, where is the next level of resistance? Probably right in here. Probably in that area. And let's take a look at the popular one nowadays, Bitcoin. More sellers came in, and I think yesterday in that video talked about if it's going to sell off, where might it sell off to, and we see it broke this sort of line here. Now we're here. If selling continues, how far could it go down? I don't know, but look at these long wicks here. Notice how they sort of all in this area right here. And so we're here. And what can we look at? Well, we've got this, but we're around that level right now, right? We're right in here. So if it if it's going to break through this sort of congestion stuff right here, then I don't know what's going to stop it from, maybe let's expand this out a little bit. This is 2 years. Maybe the market data doesn't go back enough or something. I'm not sure. Um, so, well, I'm not a Bitcoin guru, and quite honestly, kind of happy I'm not at the moment. My understanding of it is in such a way that I'm more interested in bringing a new product to the market that's using the distributed ledger technology than I am particular enthusiastic of buying someone else's product. But that's me. And for my friends out there that are looking to trade Bitcoin or actively wondering what they should do, one good thing to do is go to bed before 1:30, and another good thing to do is, let's see, look to the left. What do we see? I think this area here, 30 down to like this 34. Oh, 34 is up here. Tough call. I guess one thing to consider doing is if you haven't already bought insurance on your Bitcoin, maybe you should up the speed and do that just in case, right? That's what insurance is about, just in case. You don't buy car insurance because you 100% believe you're a crappy driver and you're going to run your car into a light pole. Buy car insurance because you realize there's other drivers on the road. Something might happen that might be unforeseen, out of your control, and it's just possible, in the realm of possibilities, that you might get into a car accident. Not that you want to, you just want to be insured, you want to be protected. So if you have Bitcoin, and I am telling you, it is a fact, it's possible for you to buy Bitcoin insurance, then, and if that interests you, then one thing you can do is go to my website and download the ultimate guide to option selling for beginners, and that will give you an idea of who to buy the insurance from. But start doing some homework, and if you want to work with me, reach out to me. I'm looking for people that are interested in bringing their trading and investing to the next level, whether you're a beginner, whether you're not. If you, there's obviously a certain level of experience that I might not be able to help. Those people that I might not be able to help in the level of trading and investing strategies, we might be able to connect on bringing a new product to the market. Because even though you may be more skilled and experienced in trading and investing than I am, there might be some other areas in business that I could offer some value. So if you're interested in bringing a new product to the market, contact me. And if you're interested in having me personally help you, I'm going to be helping people in 8-week increments for a little while, because my schedule is busy. I have a lot of things going on, and but I want to move this forward too. So take advantage of it for now. In the meantime, we're just watching Bitcoin go lower. I would love to stay and watch that, but my friends, I got to go to sleep. You guys have a fantastic night, and reach out to me. Thanks. Bye-bye.